is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate, which is our weekly mastermind to help you take your real estate business to the next level. What we do every Friday, what this whole mastermind thing, the ability to take it to the next level, to get more deals, to close more deals, to get more clients, close more clients. It's all about making this stuff easy. And to make things easy, you've got to know what it is that you need to do. And this is a core fundamental if you ever want to make selling real estate easy. And that's being your brand. And I'm not saying being your logo, because that's not your brand. I'm not saying wearing the colors it is that you wear, because that's not your brand. So we're going to be talking about what your brand really is and how you encompass that brand. And when you encompass your brand and when you're sold on your brand, watch the deals come to you. So we've got a really exciting show for you guys today. I'm excited to bring it to you. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate, our weekly mastermind to take your business to the next level every Friday, 12 noon. If you're not subscribed yet, go to tampaschool.com/success, drop your email in there, and we'll shoot you an email whenever it is that we go live so you don't miss any of these opportunities to grow your real estate business. And look, these are free. They don't cost you anything. You just got to be a past student of ours, a current student of ours, or don't leave yet, also a future student of ours. If you haven't taken classes with us yet, don't worry about it. Just take classes with us in the future, and you're free to learn with us here every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. And part of why it is that I love doing State of Real Estate is I love talking about growing your business. I love teaching these topics because this helps me embody these own topics myself. The more it is that I teach this stuff, the better it is that I live this stuff as well. So don't be just somebody who takes in this information. Share it with your friends or family members or coworkers, other real estate agents. And this is a topic that is across multiple industries. A lot of these topics we talk about on State of Real Estate will apply in more than just the real estate space. I mean, it's all just, for the most part, business growth tactics. You might have to tweak a couple little things if you're not in real estate, but this universally applies. So we started the show, we're talking about the secret to closing deals being your brand. But when I say brand, so many people are going to think of a logo. They'll think of a color scheme. They'll think of maybe a certain font. They'll think of, maybe in real estate, your face, which we're getting warmer with that, but that's not your brand. Your brand isn't what you look like. You know, there's a saying that people won't remember what it is that you say, but they will remember how it is that you make them feel. They won't remember what it is that you say, but they'll remember how it is that you make them feel. That, my friends, is your brand. How it is that you're making people feel. And you have to be very self-aware all the time of how it is that you're making people feel. So, closing deals, for example. Are you making people feel like you're a professional? Are you making people feel like you know what you're talking about? Are you making them uncomfortable? Because if you're making them uncomfortable, what are they going to remember you as? They're going to remember you as the person that makes them feel uncomfortable. That's no way to be remembered. That is not your brand. And you might say, well, John, real estate, sales in general can sometimes be uncomfortable. It can be. It doesn't have to be, though. If you're a true professional, and this all starts with building this foundation that is your brand, sales becomes easy. It becomes so easy. We're going to dive into building up your own brand and what it is that you need to do, what blocks it is, that building blocks you need to put together in order to establish a successful brand. So again, the brand isn't your logo, that's a logo. The brand isn't your color scheme, that's a color scheme. These are things that'll help reinforce the brand, to help make the brand somewhat more memorable when you have a logo, when you have a color scheme. When in real estate, a lot of people, your face on your business cards, that's also your brand, your look of this stuff. This helps reinforce the brand, but that is not the brand. So again, the whole purpose of having this brand, of having this logo, of having the color scheme, of having a slogan, of having whatever it is that people do that they refer to as branding, purchasing the promotional materials, the cups, the pens, the t-shirts, the polo shirts, the embroidered hats, the backpacks, the markers, the frisbees, the Gasparilla beads, all these things that you put your brand on. You're just putting the logo, the representation of your brand. But people aren't going to remember just your logo. You maybe show it to them 5, 10 times. They'll remember, oh yeah, there's that logo I see everywhere. But how many times have you seen some sort of logo? And when you think about this, how many times have you seen some sort of logo or the name of some sort of business and you've got no idea what it is that they do? That's a problem. It's great if people are seeing your brand, seeing your logo, seeing your name, seeing your picture, seeing the name of your brokerage, the name of your business. That's great. That's a good start. But now, what is it that it stands for? And now, the 201 stuff of this that we're going to get into later, not just what it stands for, but now getting out there basically and preaching that brand to people. Now, I've seen these ads before, and you've probably seen them as well, where it is just a logo. And, that will help them maybe remember the name, but that's very forgetful. The key thing it is that we're trying to accomplish, especially in this person-to-person business, is making people feel comfortable with us and feel happy with the service it is that we're providing them. And that's tough to do sometimes. It gets very difficult when you enter into these tough situations that are uncomfortable situations. So let's start off with what it is that, so again, the brand isn't just what people see. It's ultimately this whole interaction, this whole experience, and ultimately what it is they remember, which the most memorable thing when you're dealing with clients is going to be how it is that you make them feel. So in order to go about establishing a well-oiled brand, a brand that you're proud to stand behind. Because if you're not proud to get behind your brand, if you're not willing to be the face of your brand, you don't have a good enough brand. And, you see this a lot where there's organizations where, they don't always put their customers first. We live in a day and age where there's so much transparency, where if you provide somebody with a bad experience, they all have their own personal megaphones to tell the world of that experience. So the days of providing unethical services and being an unethical person and trying to make the quick buck and only worrying about yourself, those days are gone. And if you are still out there with that mentality, you're going to get weeded out very quickly. And if you're trying to start a real estate career with that mentality, you're never going to make it, worrying about just yourself and trying to make yourself rich, to make yourself wealthy, to make your life better. The way it is that you make your life better, the way it is that you acquire this currency is in exchange for providing value, for making other people's lives better, for making their transactions smoother. So when you're developing your brand, you need to have it be centered around your client experience. It needs to be focused around the client experience. And when you're establishing your brand, you need to constantly ask yourself, is this enhancing the client experience? Is this ultimately going to help our clients more? Is this going to help put them in a better place? Is this going to allow us to provide a better service? And look, this is where you've got to get clear on this stuff here. Even if you're charging more money for something, maybe it's some sort of add-on. Maybe you've got an add-on. Let's say there's an add-on to, let's say you're dealing with a seller, and the seller wants to sell their property, and you've got some add-on of some photography service, or an add-on of video services, or an add-on of extra advertising, all these little add-ons. which it's very easy to confuse these add-ons, these additional charges it is that you're offering to your customer. And it's very easy for you to think that you're not putting your customer first by charging them extra money for these additional services. It's the backwards way of thinking about this. When you're charging for these additional services, if you feel like you're cheating your client, if you feel like you're pulling a fast one on them by making them pay an extra $1,000 for this extra add-on or for this extra package, or you're charging a higher commission and you're saying, oh man, I've got myself a sucker here, they're willing to pay 1% higher than what I normally charge, that obviously feels bad. But when there truly is value behind what it is that you're offering, and you're sold on that value, now you almost might feel like, oh yeah, they're paying me more money, but yeah, I've got to do more work. I've got something extra it is that I've got to do. That's better. That's a better place to be in than, oh, I got this sucker here willing to pay me more money. They don't even know how much they're overpaying me. It's okay to charge more, but you want to have the best price. You could charge more than your competition and still have the best price, because price isn't about how much money it is that they're saving. It's about how much value it is that they're receiving. When they're receiving immense amounts of value, it'll seem like they're getting a deal. And it should. If when you're presenting the benefits it is that they get, and let's say you charge an extra $1,000 for this photography package, just to throw a number out there. Let's say you've got some photography package, you bring in a professional photographer, it's an extra $1,000 that they'll have to pay at the closing table because of this, or maybe they pay the money up front, who knows how you're structuring this. But now what justifies that extra money it is that you're spending? Well, this is all part of your brand. The entire experience, an entire interaction it is that is between you and your client is your brand. And let's say that they pay this extra $1,000. Maybe they're even paying it up front. But when this extra $1,000 can equate to an extra $10,000 in sale price because of that, are you helping your clients? Are you putting your clients in a better place? Yes, there's a charge for that. That's why we're in business. The business is all about exchanging value for currency. So you've got to get that down first and foremost. Value for currency. You want more value, that will cost more currency. So that's what you've got to understand here, but that's not what the brand is about. You don't want to say that to a client. You want more value, you've got to give me more money. No, you've got to be able to explain what it is that this additional value will do for them. Not just talk about the features of these values, but the benefits of these values, the things that directly affect them. And you have to be sold on your offerings, on your capabilities, on your professionalism before anybody else will be sold on you as well. So we've got more to talk about building your brand and being your brand and overall making this easier to close deals. Because we're just getting started. We're just talking about the foundations, the fundamentals of your brand. The brand is nothing if you're not putting it out there into the marketplace. So that's what we're going to be talking about next. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you live to help you mastermind, to grow your real estate business, to start your real estate career, going through this uncomfortable period of growth. And that's one of my favorite things is and this is a check to see if I'm growing myself, are you making yourself uncomfortable? When you're making yourself uncomfortable, you're effectively moving into a new space. You're moving into higher echelons. You're leveling up, whatever it is that you want to call it. But when you're comfortable, when you start getting happy with what it is that you're doing, that's when your business is vulnerable, the most vulnerable, because if you're not constantly growing, you're liable to be affected by changes in the market and so on and so forth. So that's what we do every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, State of Real Estate. We talk about growing your business. And in real estate, you very much are your business. And that's really kind of the collision of today's show, is being your brand. You know, when people think about brands, we went over this earlier, they're thinking about a logo, a color scheme, all that crap. This is stuff to help reinforce the brand, to help make the brand memorable, but the number one thing that determines what it is that they remember about your logo, about your color scheme, about your slogan, is how it is that you make people feel, especially in this very personalized business, but even in the large business. Coca-Cola. You've probably never come face to face with a Coca-Cola employee, but most people will probably have a positive memory of them. That's why they have such a well-established brand. It's not because they put their Coca-Cola logos everywhere. That helps reinforce the brand. But the reason why their brand exists is how it is that they make people feel. They make people feel happy. Sipping on a nice bubbly soda, enjoying a pizza with family and friends, at a ball game. It's associated with these happy memories. And so by association, they're making people feel good. And that's why they have such a great brand. Apple. So you can see the little Apple logo right there. This isn't why Apple is such a memorable brand. Apple is such a memorable brand because they make you feel cool. They make you feel high tech. They make you feel like you know how to work technology because all their stuff just works so easily. So whenever you look at any sort of brand and you say, wow, that's a great brand, think of what it is that they're doing and how it is that they're making you feel. What it is that they're doing to make you feel these different ways, and that's why they're a great brand. Yes, the logo contributes to helping make it memorable, the name and all this other stuff that helps make it memorable. But now when we tie this back into the real estate space. So in real estate, you know, a lot of people try to be bigger it is than they actually are. They try to look super high end, super like this big organization, super luxury. They want to look like, you know, they're the hot shot that, you know, you need to use me. And, you know, people will go and buy cars it is that they can't afford, so they look like they're a hot shot, or they'll go spend money on clothes it is that are much more than what somebody would normally spend on clothes because, you know, they want to look like they're the professional. All of these things, now these might be things that help, like a logo that will help reinforce that memory, but it'll reinforce that memory good or bad. So the image, the appearance is not the brand. That serves to reinforce the brand, but that'll reinforce the brand whether it's a good brand or whether it's a bad brand. If you leave somebody with a bad experience, that logo is not doing you any favors because that helps them remember that bad experience. That's bad for your brand. But if you leave somebody with a good experience, feeling good, feeling confident about the way it is that you handled the transaction for them, that's where they start to become your biggest fans. And that's ultimately what you're trying. You want to establish a brand that produces people that are advocates for your brand. You want to have a brand so strong and so powerful that people are out there advocating their brand for you. Now, I can't say yet that we've got anybody that's got Tampa School of Real Estate tattoos on them. We're not reaching enough people, or we don't have a good enough brand, I guess, to get people to have Tampa School of Real Estate tattoos on them. But you've seen this with companies. And those companies where people are willing to stick, Harley Davidson is a great example of this. And, people get crazy about Harley Davidson motorcycles. They're the most well-known brand in the motorcycle space. Whether you love them or whether you hate them, you know who it is that they are. And the people it is that love them. And they don't just love them, but they advocate for them. They tell people, oh yeah, Harleys are the best bikes in the world. You don't want to have anything else other than a Harley. It's Harley or nothing. And that's what people that you want to have them talking about your real estate business. That, oh yeah, John, best realtor in the world. He went so above and beyond. And this is kind of how the process, and when you're trying to establish your brand and establish the core values it is that are behind your brand, you've got to start thinking of these things. And if people have already said things positive about you, given you a positive review or said something, or if they said something negative, what could you have done to correct that, to fix that? How do you take responsibility and take ownership of that to try to fix that? So, ultimately, you want to try to, because this can be hard to establish these core values without having any already, or not any that are clearly defined. But if we think of maybe some of the things, I want to hear from you guys as well. If you've got anything maybe that people have said about you, and we'll try to turn this into some sort of core value that you could live by, that you could advertise. Your core values should be things that you're willing to put on your business card or on your website or whatever that may be. And that's that constant reminder to you that these are the non-negotiables. These are the things it is that you do to provide a great experience to your clients. And this is especially important if you're planning on growing yourself out into a team or maybe partnering up with another agent, that you're holding yourself to these standards. A lot of people will try to scale themselves into bigger and better things without establishing these core values. If you don't have these core values, especially when you start to bring on other people, whether this is other licensees that you're maybe forming a team with, you're just partnering up with somebody, or maybe you've got somebody that's an unlicensed assistant that's fielding your incoming calls and things like that. Not only do you have to be sold on your core values, but they do as well. So let's kind of go through this here. And I want to give a quick shout out to Elaine and Logan tuning in and commenting in on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Regulars there, definitely going to have prospering businesses growing larger because you're constantly trying to learn more. So what's up? Thank you guys for tuning in today. But let's go through. Okay, so this great client experience, this experience that makes people wow, that you know what you're talking about, that you know the questions it is that they should ask that they're not even necessarily thinking of. So ultimately, in the end, we might have to reverse engineer this a little bit to get a little bit of an idea, but you want to think of, okay, what do we want people saying about us? We want people saying that we're professional. So how do we be professional? How do we appear professional? Not just appear professional, because that's what we're also going to talk about. How do you be that professional it is that you set out to be? So you've got to understand the process. You've got to understand that this leads to this, leads to this, leads to this, and if something unexpected comes up, you can't plan for every unexpected circumstance and every unexpected outcome or scenario. But you need to know how to handle that, how to bring in the right people who are the experts in that specific scenario, because that is what sets you apart as a true professional. But what else makes you a professional? It's not just your knowledge, it's the way it is that you react and respond to things. Do you get emotional with your clients? Tell me one time where a business got emotional with you and that made things better. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You're not, being a professional does not involve having emotional responses. Now, it's okay to be happy for your clients. It's okay to want them to like you. That type of emotion is okay. But the emotion I'm referring to is, if you start arguing with a client, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to just say, no, you're wrong, I'm right, blah, 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 blah. That obviously isn't going to end well. So when somebody gives you some sort of objection, some sort of something it is that isn't true or isn't accurate or that you don't agree with, you always handle that like a professional. And just to give you a quick example for something like this is, hey, I understand why it is that you're thinking the way it is, but let me explain to you why this is actually the way it really is. And you kind of fill in the blanks a little bit more to make that a little bit more specific to what they're talking about. But you're acknowledging that, hey, look, I completely understand why it is that you think that is the way it is. I completely understand why you think we should list your property at this price rather than what I'm suggesting here at this price. But let me explain to you here what would happen if we were to list it at this price versus at this price. I'll actually explain both of these for you. Because ultimately, people aren't always willing or able to ask the right questions. And this is going back to the closing deals aspect of this here, making this able to be closing deals easier, is that sometimes you'll get the people that'll say, oh, we're not just ready yet. We're just not ready yet. Yeah, that's, why did you call me if you're not ready yet? You are ready. Or maybe you aren't ready. But the reason why you're saying that you're not ready is because you don't know all the answers. You don't know everything. You're maybe finding out things it is that you're unknown. And you've got to think of what it is that you're doing in this interaction. You're maybe on a listing appointment trying to get a seller to list a property with you. You're maybe talking about things, and these are things the seller had no idea to think about, and they're like, oh my God, yeah, we're unprepared. There's no way we could sell the property now because all this stuff you're saying, we don't know anything about this. How are you making them feel? Again, your brand, a strong brand, comes back to how it is that you're making people feel. And this is ultimately what helps you close more deals. Because if you're making them feel uncomfortable, you're not serving your purpose there. You're supposed to be the professional, and when a professional comes in, even if it's something it is that they don't want to hear, your job is to make it comfortable. Look, I know you thought maybe we could sell the property for this price, but after everything it is that we've gone through, and you agree that this is the price it is that we need to list this at. So, and ultimately you want to get it where they're on the same page with you. So when you're explaining maybe why it is you do this low price. Oh, we do this lower price so that way we get multiple bids on the property. If we price it up here, we're pricing it above what people are going to be looking for. They're going to look at it, they're going to think it's overpriced, whereas if we bring the price down here, we're going to get a lot of interest in the property, we'll get multiple offers, and we ultimately might end up selling the property for what it is up there. So when you're educating them in this fashion, and the key thing when you're going through this and you're explaining these things to be a true professional is you're not just saying things, because remember, rule number one, people won't always remember what it is that you say. They'll remember how it is that you make them feel. And if you're explaining all this stuff as quickly as I just explained it right there, you're going to make them feel like they don't know what they're talking about. You're going to make them feel stupid. That might not be your intention. You're actually trying to educate them. But when you're not involving them in this interaction, in this conversation. So now notice we've stumbled across another thing it is that we need to make sure we include in our core values is ensure understanding. So let's write that down because I want to build this out into a way it is that we can establish some core values and really go about advocating for this brand. So ensure understanding. And we'll also put down be the professional. So be the professional, ensure understanding. And so we're ensuring understanding. But now, as we progress through this further, we don't want them to just enjoy the experience it is that they had with us. We want them to be advocates for us. We want them to be out there telling their friends, telling their family members, hey, John, best realtor that's in the planet. You need to use him. It'd be a mistake of epic proportions to use anyone except for John. That's our goal. It might seem unrealistic, and you might not ever have somebody say it like I just said that right there. I don't think I've ever had anyone say exactly like that, but that's my goal. That's what I want people to have, even if the words aren't coming out that way, that's the impression. That's how it is that they're feeling about the service it is that you're providing. So maybe we come across a scenario, and the more experienced it is that you are, the better it is that you're able to define these core values. So don't worry if when you're first starting out that you don't know what it is that should be part of your core values, because you don't have enough experience yet. You're gonna get some scars, you're gonna make some mistakes, you're gonna have some obstacles, but these will be learning experiences that'll help you further define your brand. But whenever it is that you're putting your customers first and foremost in providing that better experience. Again, we're doing this for a fee. We're doing this for a commission. We're not doing this for free. But in exchange for that value it is they're giving us, we're returning an even greater value. So maybe we charge a 7% commission, but we're giving them 10% of value. We're giving them, by them using us, we're helping them sell their property for 10% more than what they would have been able to sell it without us. That's value there. That, if we want to just look at numbers, that proves that there's a value. But now, how do we define this now into something more particular, but is still very broad, like be the professional, ensure understanding? Well, what else is it that we need to do? We want people to become advocates of us. We want people to be advocates of us so they get us referrals. And this, you want this to come across. And this is, again, going back to making closing deals easy. When you're truly living this brand and these core values, when you have strong core values it is that you set and you're following through on those core values, people will not even think twice about signing off on a contract with you. So another one is trust. So you want people to trust you, and really for them to become an advocate of you, they have to trust you. And in order for them to trust you, you've got to be the professional, you've got to ensure understanding, but you also have to facilitate trust. And that's another one I want to write down. So we'll call that facilitate trust. So be the professional, ensure understanding, and facilitate trust. Because if they don't trust you, they're going to go seeking out additional information. They're going to seek out additional information from without you, whether this is something they're finding on Google that's just completely wrong, or maybe somebody else that they're talking to that just has a different perspective. Whenever we have, you might have heard the expression before, too many cooks in the kitchen. When people are seeking out opinions from everyone about real estate, that makes your job as a real estate agent very difficult. But when you've facilitated trust, when you've gained trust, when you've facilitated that trust, that's going to ultimately make this experience even smoother. But now, what can we define as a core value to now make these individuals advocates of us, to where we provided such a great experience, we don't even have to ask them for referrals, they're just giving us referrals. And you might say, John, that's not possible. I've always got to ask for referrals. No one's just going to give me the referral. It could happen. But even if it doesn't happen, that's what we're shooting for. So anything short of that, we're still going to ask for referrals. But now they're going to give us those referrals much more easily and much more freely when they're advocates of us. So we might just call it that. Because, I mean, let's do that. Let's just say create advocates of our business. And you might want to replace that, create advocates of John Chrismo as a realtor, or create advocates of ABC Realty, or whatever it is that your brand is, put that in there. Create advocates. So far we've got be the pro, ensure understanding, facilitate trust, and create advocates. And look, you might have more core values than this, you might have less core values than this, but you've got to go through and establish these things, and everything it is that you do, this should be a checklist. Are we being the professional? Are we ensuring understanding? Are we facilitating trust? Are we creating advocates of our business? So, and again, you might want to, because these values, these things it is that you choose to live by, these are almost like your 10 commandments of your business, the things it is that you always ensure that every transaction, you'll notice how the way it is that I've worded here, that they're broad and they could apply in so many different interactions, whether we're working with a seller, whether we're working with a buyer, whether we're on a listing appointment, whether we're presenting offers and counter offers, and whatever it may be that you're doing in any part of your business. In your advertising, those core values still apply. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're we're going to now talk about, now that we've got these core values established, how we go about advocating ourselves for these core values and what our brand actually stands for. Because in order to create advocates, if that's one of our values, to create advocates, we have to be the advocate. We have to be the biggest advocate ourselves. So stick with us. I'm John Crismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Crismo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you live to help you mastermind, to grow your real estate business, to help ensure your success in the real estate industry, to give you something it is to grab onto when you're being flooded with all this information from every which way, because this show is about one thing and one thing only, and that's growing your business, starting your career, taking it to the anytime we're talking about transitioning something bigger and better, taking these tactics it is that we talk about. Sometimes they're tactics about yourself, sometimes they're tactics about your business. Today, we're really combining those two worlds. We have our business and the brand it is that our business, the core values we've been talking about that we've been creating here together on the show. Those core values it is that we set up for our business, and now how is it that we infuse ourselves with that business and become one essentially with the business. So your goal ultimately is to live these core values. And in order to live these core values and to really have the biggest impact of having these core values and use them really to your biggest advantage, because it's a lot of work if you want to be 100%. If you literally want to be the best realtor in existence, that's a lot of work. But if you are the best realtor in existence, you should be having a line of clients down the block. So it's really kind of two parts coming together here. You're being the best it is that you can be, and that ultimately is helping your business grow drastically if you are being that best realtor. If you're the best realtor in the world but you don't have any clients, you're not the best realtor in the world, because the best realtor in the world is supposed to advocate for what it is that they're doing. And really, without any marketing we're doing on our part here, if you're being the best it is that you can be, you should have clients and referrals coming to you automatically. But when you're first starting out, and this is going to be specific to when you're first establishing this brand, to when you're first getting your real estate license and starting your real estate career, is you have to be the advocate for your brand. You need to be that person that you think of a brand and you think of there's some sort of person associated with it. So Oprah Winfrey, for example, tremendous brand. And when I say Oprah Winfrey, there's probably a lot of thoughts that come into your head about who Oprah Winfrey is and what it is that she stands for and what it is that she does. She is a perfect example of somebody that has these core values and very well established. And she's very predictable for what it is. I mean, everybody knew whenever her show was on, and I would never really watch the show, but we've all seen the little memes online of you get a car, or what's that comedian's name where it's you get a humpback whale, you get a humpback whale. Everybody gets humpback whales. So, I wish I could remember his name. But the point being here is, it was predictable that she was going to give stuff out to her audience because, that's what she does. Or, you see something of maybe one of these sad stories and how now their lives are being changed by this person. So when you have well-defined core values, you become predictable as well. Because or your clients would know that this person, that this business, that this organization is going to go above and beyond for you if that's what your core values say, if that's what your core values dictate, and when you're living these core values. So now how is it that we advocate for this? How is it that we're out there seeking out business, but we're not just doing the run-of-the-mill advertising, buy or sell your house with me today? No, that doesn't work in this day, and it does work. That'll probably always work to a certain extent, but it's not nearly as effective as when you're advocating for your brand. And it's never been easier to be able to do something like this because we have the power of social media. So you see me here, live every Friday, this whole show, State of Real Estate. State of Real Estate is advocating for the Tampa School of Real Estate brand. One of our core values is that we want to ensure understanding and we want to ensure our students' success. And we do that through State of Real Estate. That's one of our channels for ensuring the success of our students. This gives our students a place to come back to learn about things to implement in your business. And look, I mean, we're doing this for free, and we're putting this out there for the world, for anyone it is to find out. So education, especially when you're in a complex space where there's information that the general public does not possess, and real estate is the perfect example of this. And you don't have to be a real estate school to have to be to educate people about real estate. You see this all the time with realtors out there that maybe talk about the sale process or talk about how to sell your property for fire. I mean, actually, I say this, you see this all the time. You actually don't see it very often because there's not a lot of realtors that actually do this, that take advantage of what's out there. Social media makes this so simple. You could just literally just grab your phone, put it in selfie mode, hit Facebook Live, turn it on, and say, hey, what's going on, friends and family? I just wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit, give you guys a little bit my real estate tip of the week. Start off with something like that, maybe a short little 2-minute thing. Maybe you don't like doing video. Do text, write something up, write a tip of the week there. Send out that tip of the week to your clients through your email list. Or maybe you're doing it the old-fashioned way. You're sending this out as some sort of newsletter. So many ways it is that you could educate your clients. And, you'll notice that a lot of these ones it is that we've laid out here go hand in hand. If we're ensuring that people are educated, if we're making sure that people know about real estate before they even done business with us, because, before this day and age that we live in now, people would say, well, what are you wasting your time for trying to tell people about how to sell a house or how to buy a house if they haven't signed any contracts with you? They haven't done any deals with you. Let's get a contract signed. Then, you just say, just leave it to us. No, that's not. We're in the information age. People will seek out information before they make a decision. And even if they're not seeking out information about how to sell their house, if they're thinking about selling their house and they're looking for a competent, qualified person or business to bring in to help get that house sold, when they see your videos, your articles, your emails, your letters about the real estate industry and basically almost showing off your knowledge it is that you have about real estate, they're going to see that. And they usually refer to this as content marketing. This is really what content marketing is. Content marketing is putting content out there. Content that's not saying, hey, you need to buy or sell your house, call me today. Are you ready to sell your house? That there's all these people in the neighborhood. I mean, even if we start going to that, if we start going in and talking about, hey, did you know that the average sale price in your neighborhood is this? What are we doing there? We're educating. And we could still have that direct call to action through that education. Hey, did you know your house in the average house in your neighborhood has been selling for $335,000? If you're thinking about selling your house, call me today. Maybe that's one part of that, but if you're just sticking with that, hey, because you tell them the average sale price is $335,000, they see that, okay, cool, $335,000. All right, yeah, maybe I'm thinking about selling, I'm not too sure. Then they get that same thing again, say, oh yeah, average sale, oh, $334,000, okay, oh, $336,000, okay, oh, $338,000, okay, $333,000. They've already learned that there's an average sale price. What else is it that you're going to teach them? What else is it that you're going to educate them on? Oh, here's 10 tips for getting your house sold faster. Here's 5 tips. Here's 3 tips. Here's 1 tip for getting your house sold faster. You don't have to, 10 tips, that's a lot. Unless these are like little bullet pointed tips, 1, 2, 3, 4, just little things like that. No one wants to read a book of 10 different things it is that they've got to do. That's going to make them just want to not sell their house. But hey, if you give them a tip, if you give them a thing to make their house sell faster, to get higher priced offers for their house, 1 tip for that, they'll look at that 1 tip and say, oh, wow. And then next week, you have some other form of marketing, another email, another text message, another phone call, another door knocking, another whatever way it is that you're getting in front of these people. Hey, got another tip for you. Here's tip number 2, paint your house. Oh, wow, yeah, yes, the painting. And sometimes it's these simple things that people just need reminding for. Hey, paint your house. On average, when a house is painted versus when it hasn't been painted in so many years, it sells for this much % more. Find the statistics online, be the professional, have the education, so then you can disseminate this education to your clients. But this form of marketing here. Now notice how we're not having these direct call to actions. Hey, buy your house today, sell your house today. It's good to put something like that in there. But you want to be careful because you don't want to come across that, oh, look, you don't want to make that front and center. You want to have your education you're offering them first and foremost. And then if they are interested in what it is that you're educating them about, then they see that call to action. Then they see that, hey, buy or sell your house today. So that's a big part of how it is that you could advocate for your brand. And it's very difficult to be an advocate for your brand if you're not educating people. And if we want to build advocates, if we want to create advocates, maybe we have in this message, hey, share this message with a friend that's thinking about selling their house. Don't hoard the knowledge. Don't be greedy with the knowledge. Share this with a friend who's thinking about selling their house. Something along those lines. So that facilitates the advocates within the people that we're advocating to. And now notice how we're accomplishing this. And this is ultimately, you can't tell me that this is not good for the sellers or the buyers it is that we're marketing to by educating them. No, that's you might say, well, they're gonna know everything. What else? What leverage do we have? Because now they know everything it is that we know. No, they're not gonna learn everything it is that you know. You're still gonna know more. If you think they know more than you need to learn some more. Watch some more episodes of State of Real Estate, and that'll help you out with that. But yeah, like I said, go about this from that perspective of educating them, of helping them. And, so the old way, the more orthodox way of marketing and doing business is, you want the information, you're going to have to pay. I'll give you a 1-hour session about how to sell your house, but you got to sign a contract if you want me to give you these tips. Now, if you're doing something like that, like I said, that's something that used to work very well because we had all the knowledge and all the information, but they could find this knowledge and information through Google. Now, the problem is most of the people won't find the information. So you're saying, hey, look at this information that I know is accurate, that I know is true, that I know this is something that will affect you. Here it is. Again, you don't even have to be the originator of this. These don't have to be your original thoughts of hey, I had this idea one time that if you paint a house, you're going to get more money for it. You guys could go and hold on to that. No, this is something that everyone knows. So don't let that be a reason why it is that you're not using that to educate your clients. Yeah, everyone knows painting a house, but do they remember that? Have they been thinking about selling their house? Maybe like, maybe this weekend we'll get some paint in here. And maybe when you're talking about this, and here's some recommended colors that help property sell faster. So now you can see how we built on this. Say, hey, paint your house. Yeah, they know that, but then do they know what colors are representing the fastest sales, maybe you do a little quick research. Hey, in your neighborhood, the properties that sold the fastest were these colors. Here's pictures of the houses that sold the fastest. Notice the colors. So now you're tying in this general knowledge with specific knowledge about their neighborhood. And yeah, this takes work to do. But if you're the one providing this information, who do you think they're going to call with their real estate questions? You guessed it. You guessed it. When they see, when they understand, and they know that you're the professional, and you're ensuring understanding, they're automatically going to trust you. So again, those first three that we laid out: be the professional, ensure understanding, facilitate trust. If you're being the professional, if you're ensuring understanding, that trust automatically comes right in. So that facilitate trust is more just a check that we want to make sure that we're ever not facilitating trust, that we always want to make sure we are. But that usually goes right along with these first two. We're being professional, we're ensuring understanding. They're automatically going to trust us more than they trust somebody who they haven't gotten any information from, who they haven't learned anything from, who is just somebody that is saying, hey, I'm a realtor, I can sell your house for the highest price. Trust me. And that's always bad. When they have to tell you. Now, you notice we put that in a core value here, facilitate trust, because you don't want to ever have to say, trust me. Trust me. And that just, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Somebody says, trust me. Oh, geez. No, I'd rather not, actually. That usually has the opposite effect when you say something like trust me. So you definitely got to be aware of what it is that you're doing, and be very aware of how it is that you're making people feel. You might be telling them to trust you, but it's going to have the opposite effect on how they feel about you. You say, trust me. And I'm like, oh, no, don't trust you. That doesn't feel trusting whatsoever. So that's really these core values. And that ultimately establishes the foundation of your brand. And when you've got a well-established brand, when you meaning that you've got well-established core values and you're sold on these core values, you know that you're the best realtor for them. If you are going into a transaction, you're thinking, oh, I really want them to use me, but, they'd probably be better off if they use these people. If they use my competitor down the street, yeah, they probably actually would sell their house faster than I would. If that's what you think about yourself, even if in the back of your head that you're thinking, oh, yeah, wow, my competitor, wow, they're so good, you should be striving to be the best, to be the best it is that you can be, to be better than everyone. Because when you're better than everyone, you're sold on yourself. You know, and you just, when you know that, and when you're sold on that, and 100% of you knows that you're better than all of your competition, then it just kind of comes across. And now you're not saying that, oh yeah, I'm the best there is. That's what they would call being cocky. But there's a difference between being cocky and being arrogant and being confident. When you know what it is that you know, and you know you're going to provide the best experience for your clients, it's not cockiness, that's not arrogance, that's confidence. And confidence is very different. You don't have to point out confidence. You don't have to point out the things it is that make you better with confidence. They just feel it. They feel the energy. They feel the way it is that you say things, the tone of your voice. The way, and this isn't something this is one of the hardest skills it is to learn. And it's not something that happens overnight. It comes with experience. It comes with practice. It comes with some obstacles that you'll have to overcome. It just doesn't happen right away. But you need to be knowing that's what it is that you need to be building. And the way to kind of speed this up as quickly as possible is establish core values and go out there and put those core values. And everything it is, and maybe you're not the biggest marketer. Maybe there's other realtors, other real estate agents, other brokerages that market more in your market, that spend more on advertising. Is that right? They spend a lot of money on advertising, but there's no other realtor out there that's going to do more for you than me. Saying something like that, having what makes you different, what sets you apart, and being confident about that, and just saying, oh yeah, they do spend a lot on advertising, but they're just spending all their money on advertising. No, don't make it about them, about the competition. It always comes back to you. It always comes back to why it is that you're better. Yeah, they do spend a lot of money on advertising. Won't argue with that. But you're not going to find a single person in the world with a real estate license who cares more about their clients. There we go. And when we say that confidently, because you're saying something like that, if you don't say it right, if you don't say it confidently, it's like, yeah, well, I care about you more. Now, you've got to be sold on that before you expect anybody else to be sold on that. You have to be sold on your offering, on your brand, on the value it is that you bring if you expect your clients to be sold on that. If you're not sold on yourself, no one else will buy you. So you've got to be sold on yourself first and foremost. And that comes from establishing this brand, having this foundation that you stand on, and having it be a strong foundation of strong core values. That's where you've got this cement foundation that goes down deep into the earth, reinforced with steel rods. That's your foundation. That's the foundation is that you want of your brand. You don't want to be standing on some hollow earth or on some rickety bridge and say, yeah, that's me. Don't question anything it is that I do because I don't have anything to back it up. No, you want to establish these core values. Say, hey, look, you can even add when these core values are good core values, you can even say, hey, look, these are the core values. These are the things that I want to ensure with every client because I want to make sure that every client thinks I'm the best realtor in the world, that no one is better than me, that it would be a mistake of epic proportions to use anyone except for me in the future. And when you're confident about that, and that confidence goes a long way for being able to present that and communicate that effectively, that makes closing deals easy. So I've got today for being your brand. Remember, the brand isn't just the logo. It's not just your slogan. It's not just your color scheme. That just is there to reinforce the brand. Your brand is what it is that you stand for, how it is that you treat your clients, what it is that you do that makes yourself better than anyone else. That, my friends, is your brand. That's all I've got for you today on State of Real Estate. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to rewatch today's episode or any of the previous episodes, make sure you go to tampaschool.com/success. Again, that's tampaschool.com/success. That's our Success Center. You'll find all the past episodes of State of Real Estate, as well as all the episodes of Ask the Instructors, as well as articles and calculators and all kinds of great tools to help you grow your real estate business, to pass your real estate exams even. Ask the Instructor's got a lot of exam prep videos in there as well for you to go through and learn some of these more complex topics. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you've got comments and you're watching this after the live stream, be sure to put those down below because we do go back after the fact and try to respond to every single comment because we want to ensure understanding as Tampa School of Real Estate. And look, if you're interested in starting a real estate career, or maybe you've got to do post-licensing or continuing education or anything like that, look, we're here to make this process easy. You're not going to find a school that does more for their students than we do. Give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that they can. Also, check out tampaschool.com. A lot of good info on there as well. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I will see you next week for next week's episodes.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.